Hey y'all, it's Ofunne back again with another video on the Swatches YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a very natural, kind of everyday glam sort of look using mostly NARS products and their 20th anniversary Orgasm collection. So we're just going to jump right on in. So to get started, I'm using the soft matte concealer in Almond or Almande, not sure the pronunciation, but I'm just kind of, I guess, color correcting, concealing, I don't know what you want to call it, just in some of the places where I feel like I need a little bit of extra love, a little bit of extra coverage. This concealer is actually so bomb, like you can use it for really a lot of things, like eyeshadow base, for this, over your foundation. The texture has a matte finish, but it's really easy to kind of blend. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing there, blending that out with my beauty blender before we move right on into foundation. NARS has really awesome Your Skin But Better foundation, and my favorite foundation from them is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation, and my shade is New Caledonia. So I'm going ahead and pumping a few pumps on the back of my hand. The pumps, as you guys kind of saw, hopefully you saw that they're really small, so I do about 2 to 3 pumps. And I'm just using a Smashbox foundation brush to stipple that on the face first before I go in with my beauty blender and blend it out. So I just find, that's just the way I like to apply my foundation. I like to apply with the brush, blend with the sponge. So yeah, hope you guys can tell, like, it just looks like just like my skin, like, in all my blemishes and dark marks and everything you saw in the beginning of this video is gone. It just looks like skin. I just love the finish of this foundation. It's just really beautiful. So now that we're looking nice and flawless, I want to go in and create kind of a natural bronze effect with another foundation in the shade Namibia. This is a slightly darker and a little bit more on the kind of warm side. So I'm just going ahead and placing that where I would place my bronzer or my contour to in place of, like, basically it's like a cream bronzer, basically is what I was trying to go for here. So I'm just stippling that on again with the same foundation brush, and I'm going to go in again with the beauty blender and blend it out. So I'm just creating a little bit of a dimension, trying to bring a little bit of life back into the face, and yeah, that's what I'm doing here with Namibia. Because they're both liquid, they blend together just really flawlessly, and it just makes it look that much more natural. So that is how I'm looking. So far, so good. Feeling myself already. Now we're gonna get into concealer. I'm using the famous NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm actually going in with Chocolat, I think chocolate, I don't know how they say it, but that is a shade that I like to use. This is a new shade I think they came out with last year. Before that I did used to use Amande and Cafe, but I like this shade more for my skin tone. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a neutral orange, kind of like color corrects and brightens at the same time. I don't know, I just like this shade. So yeah, went in with that same method, applied it, blending that out with the beauty blender. I like to apply my powder right after I blend out my concealer, so I like to do one side at a time. So we're gonna do this first side, we're blending it out, and then I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder in Honey. I don't have a powder from NARS. I hear that the powder, I think the shade is called Mountain, is really good for deeper skin tones and for sitting under the eye from NARS. Haven't had a chance to pick it up, so for now, using Honey has kind of like a deep yellow undertone to go ahead and set that concealer. That's probably like the only non-NARS, except for the setting spray, that's the only non-NARS product we're gonna use in this video. So yeah, brushing off the excess powder and just going in and doing the same exact thing on the other side. Oh, well, before we start that, I do like to bake my nose because my nose tends to get oily. It's just the oiliest part of my face, and this is a radiant foundation. It will get radiant on you, so to prevent any of that, I'm just adding that excess powder to the nose. So basically just baking the nose because that's just my problem area. And I want to make sure that it stays matte for as long as possible. So now we're gonna add I lied. We're gonna add a little extra warmth with the Fenty Beauty bronzer in Coconati. NARS has some bronzers. I don't believe they have one that's dark enough for someone that's my shade to bronze with. Someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I know about the NARS bronzers, they don't run that deep. So yeah, I'm using the Fenty one in Coconati. It's a nice natural kind of neutral brown on my skin tone. So now I'm wiping off the excess powder, and before I apply any highlighter, I like to spray down my face. So I'm using the Smashbox Primer Water in Jasmine Rose, giving myself a healthy dose of it so I can go in with the star of the show, the Endless Orgasm Face Palette from NARS. This is from their 20th anniversary collection. It has kind of these creamy kind of highlighters, and it just really applies really nicely over a wetter, stickier base. So that's why we sprayed the face down. So as you can see, it's giving me a very kind of nice, it's a bright highlight, but it's not like unnatural. It's like seeping into the skin, at least in my opinion. I feel like it is, and it's gonna move with my face, and it just looks like that lit from within look. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this palette. You know, I really like it, but I can understand for the price point why some people might feel like they don't need it. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So now we're gonna move on to the liquid highlighter. And this is again an Orgasm, it's Orgasm collection. So I just put a little tiny drop. This is a very watery consistency, and a little goes a long way. So I'm using my highlight brush and just going over the place where we highlighted before, and as you can see, it's taking that highlight to the next level. But because it's liquid, it's kind of just blending into everything. So I really like liquid and cream products on the face, even though I like a matte finish. Spraying the face down before applying those cream to liquid products helps them blend in when you have a lot of kind of like powders and stuff on the face. So that's what I tend to do to get away with wearing cream over powder. So that's what we're looking like with the Super Orgasm palette and the liquid highlighter, sorry. Now we're going into the blush, again in Orgasm, obviously. And this actually looks like more of a highlighter on me. It's like a pink, but it has like a gold undertone, like golden reflex. So even though, like, I hope you guys can tell I was putting it on the cheek, it still kind of has this like golden quality about it. So it ended up being more like a highlight. I feel like I would like it more on its own than on top, because we've already done so many orgasm colored things. I feel like it's just orgasm overload at this point, but I mean, it still looks pretty. I'm still feeling it, but I think I would prefer on a normal day to wear the blush on its own. So now this is supposed to be a multi-use palette, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the eye. Now I will say that after about 6 hours this started creasing on me, so I felt like I really liked the effect of this when I put it on. And again, maybe I put on I could have put on too much, I'm not sure, but when I first put it on I really liked it, but I did notice that it did crease throughout the day. So just note that if you are considering picking up this palette. But it does have a very nice kind of wet quality without actually, like, you know, applying gloss. Like, it kind of gives you that glossy finish without actually having to apply gloss. So that's what I really liked about it. It is supposed to be made for the eyes, so yeah, that's the eye look. Now we're going in with the Orgasm Oil Infused Lip Tint. This is, I like this, but I don't know if it's like a necessity. It's like a lip oil basically, and because my lips are already pretty dark, the tint, as you can kind of see, is not that apparent, but it does, I will say, it does feel really good on the lips, especially if you have dry lips or like your lips are chapped for some reason. Like this will take care of it ASAP. So I just went ahead and put that lip tint on, and then again, this palette is multi-use, so it's supposed to be able to use on the lips. So I'm just dabbing a little bit of that in the center, just to give my lips a little bit more pop and not just look like I just ate fried chicken and have oily lips. So yeah, that is essentially the look. So now I got my little cute dress on, and let my hair down, and that's the end of this little tutorial review. Get ready with me. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's very kind of natural, everyday, but still a little bit elevated with the kind of the glossiness on the eyes and the glossiness on the lips. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.